Good afternoon everyone and welcome to my Thursday tips and tricks. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Lucia Visentin and I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. Thanks for joining me today. I'm live on Facebook and I will also pop this up on YouTube so that you can watch it later. As you hop on, do say hi. We'd love to know who's about. And hopefully I can give you a nice little tip that might help you out a little bit as well. So what I'm going to do today, I have actually seen, it was actually Jackie from the Pampered Stamper that has used it, and she has called it a ribbon tamer. So usually with my ribbons, to keep them tidy, I do put pins in them. So being a dressmaker, I've always got pins lying around. But if you don't have pins, obviously as a card maker, you've got heaps of cardstock. So there is another little way that you can actually tame your ribbons without using pins. And not using pins is probably a really good idea for some ribbons because pins can actually leave some little holes in some of them. Usually you can just get them out with your fingernail, just rubbing it along the ribbon. But there are some that it could mark. So this is actually a really good way of taming those ribbons as well. So what I will do is I will turn you over and I will show you what I'm about to do. And we will have a look. Sorry, you've got all my... There you go. Alrighty, so what she has come up with, I'm not sure whether it's Jackie actually or whether she actually got it from someone else as well. I've made one just out of some paper here, but this is what it is. So it's a really cute little, and this, like I said, this is just out of paper, so it is quite flimsy, the one I've made here, but I will do one out of cardstock. I just wanted to see if it would work, and it actually stays in place really nicely too. So what I have done is I have just used, you could use thick, but I have just used the basic white cardstock. I do have some measurements here as well, which I will just pop up here as well. So what I am doing here is I'm using, sorry for bumping you, my spool of ribbon is, this one's about 1.4. So she's actually got a 1.7 measurement here. So I will go with her measurements and see how we go. So we're looking at 1.2 centimeters, which is just the width of what it's going to be, by 13.2. Like I said, it's an awesome little way just to tidy everything up a bit too. So we're scoring at 3.4, 5 centimeters, and I'm just following along here, 8.2, oops, not cutting, 8.2 and 9.8. Okay, so they're all my little score lines. So I'm just going to bend it along all of those, and I just want to make sure it fits before I glue it down or do anything. There you go, brilliant. So what we need to see, these are my pins, so I do use pins in mine. So what we need to do is pop a little hole at the top here so the ribbon can actually go through. Now, I don't have this trio of punches, but there is a trio of punches that Stampin' Up do sell, which is a hole punch assortment. So it is a set of 3 punches. You've got, they're mainly for the tops of gift tags is what you would use them for, especially this one. But there is a 1/8 of an inch hole and there is a slot as well. So for ribbons like this, I would use the slot, would be best. For something like this, you could just use the whole. Okay, like I said, I don't have these, so for today I am just going to use, and I'm sorry this isn't even Stampin' Up, but I am just going to use a hole punch and just punch that out of the middle. And what I'm going to do is actually thread this through the hole before I attach it to my ribbon. So I'm just putting it through the center of my roll of ribbon and then bringing it down this way. And I'm just going to glue this piece down. Now I would use liquid glue would be fine, but it won't dry quick enough for me and I'm a bit impatient. So I am just going to use a couple of glue dots. Actually, I won't even worry about popping them off because I'll just take my glue dots to the cardstock. Okay, so 2 glue dots there, and we just fold that down so it sticks, and you've got your ribbon coming out, and you can move that down a little bit further so it all sits nice and neatly. I hope I was in shot then. So I have got it for a couple of measurements here, so I will pop these measurements up for you if you like. So I've got, and I should have probably highlighted it too, so I've got one for a 1.2, a 1.7 and a 1.9. But basically what you're doing is you're doing the 1.9 here and you're just measuring the length down here as well and just adding them on and then just scoring at that point. So what she has done first up is she's gone to 3.4 is that bit, then she's added the 1.2, actually added the 1.2, and then she's done another 3.4, another 1.2, and a 3.4 again. And she's just scored them on all of those lines. And like I said, it's brilliant because it actually sits in place really well. And when they're all sitting on your shelf, they're all going to be sitting there. You have your little bit hanging out and you'll be able to see exactly what it is and how wide it is as well. I thought it was a great, handy little tip. And like I said, if you've got, mind you, the hole's okay for this one as well, but if you've got that slot for wider ribbons, the slot would actually be really good and would just stop it from bunching up that little bit as well. I think that would actually be quite handy. So there you go. That is, like I said, really quick today. I've got someone here, so I wasn't going to take too long today anyway. But they're the punches. So brilliant, brilliant punches to utilise for that as well. Can be used for anything. So like I said, and you could even make your hole. So if you've got a smaller hole punch for something like this, I would use the smaller hole for that as well. Whereas I've used quite a large hole for that one there too. And you could make it, again, if your ribbon is wider, you would make sure that that slot, so like I said, use your slot, you've got the larger slot to fit the wider ribbons through as well. So the only other thing I actually had to say today is I have just got boxes of catalogues, so new catalogues. So if anyone is interested in a new catalogue, let me know. And I'll be able to post them out to you as well. So lots and lots of goodness inside of these catalogues. So like I said, if you're interested, just let me know, private message me or pop it here as well, and I will get them out to you. Yeah, Jackie, it is just such a brilliant idea. Like, how cool is that? Like I said, I'm usually pins all the way, and like I said, mainly because I've like I said, it's my sewing room and my craft room were the same room for quite a long time, except for I'm not in my craft room at the moment, but when I go back, I'll be back with my sewing machine, so the pins will all be handy. But like I said, if you don't want holes in your ribbon, how brilliant. Like, it is just, and like I said, I'm really impressed because it fits really snugly as well, is the other thing. If you do happen to lose your ribbon, like if it comes out of the hole, if you've got a pair of tweezers, you can always get your tweezers to pull it back out again as well. It is a game changer, isn't it? Like, it is just, like I said, and just to keep all those ribbons nice and tidy. I don't know how everyone else stores their ribbons, but I actually have a rod that goes through all of mine, and it sits in front of me on a unit. But if they're in a drawer especially, and you've got all your ends coming out everywhere, that's a great way to have them. So I have all my current ribbons in front of me on my desk, and all my old ribbons I still keep in a drawer because I'm always using ribbons for something. Like I did, just really quickly, I've just sent out all my kits for my next class, and so everyone's getting just a few little Easter eggs. But this is old twine, and I just figure, you know what, it still looks great. The papers are current papers. That was from those beautiful check papers that we had, which are called the Timeless Plaid, that go with the storybook moments. And just the little Easter greetings, and like I said, just some tiny little eggs there to go with it. Actually, I might even show you, I've done some, just take their names off them, I've done some little thank you cards to go with my class as well. So everyone always gets just a little, they're just very simple little cards, but they always get a little thank you card. And I just do note size cards for my little thank you cards. So that's my little bit of show and tell for the day. So thank you very much. Like I said, just a really, really quick one today. I hope everyone is having a lovely week, and enjoy your weekend, and I will see you all on Monday. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.